Hello, third graders. Today we are going to be looking at our learning target. I can find 100, 1,000, and 10,000 more or less than any given 4 or 5-digit number. You will be successful today when you can say, I will know I am successful when I can show my work and arrive at the correct answer when adding numbers. Let's take a look at our place value chart. We are going to be looking at numbers all the way into the 10,000s today. Might even have to move into the 100,000s. So remember, we first look at our ones, then we move into tens and hundreds, and then we get into the thousands. And just like the ones, there's 1,000s, 10,000s, and 100,000s. Yesterday we did 100 more and 100 less than. Let's try using it with in and out boxes, looking for patterns. So our rule is plus 100. So if we started with 2,467 and we add 100 to it, what is going to come out? The hundreds is the only place that changed, so we have 2,567. Go to the next one, we have 8,892 plus 100, so I'm going to add 100. 8,892 plus 100 would leave us with 8,992.
Third graders, make sure that when you line it up, you put the hundreds where it belongs. If I lined it up like this, would I get the right answer?
I don't think so, Miss Anderson.
So I need to make sure that I line it up with the hundreds. That way I get 8,992. The hundreds place value is the place value that changed. This next one's a little tricky, Mrs. Sluzewitz. Do you want to explain how we would do this next one?
Well, I think that it's going to end up being the opposite operation because now I know what came out. So before I added 100 to figure out what was coming out, but now I know what came out. So that makes me think I'm going to need to subtract 100. So let's take 100 away from 1,344. 4 minus 4 would be 4. 4 minus 4 is 4, 3 minus 1 is 2, and 1 minus 0 is 1. So 1,244 is what we said went in. If I double checked that, I would now add 100 and see if what came out is 1,344. Yes, it is, so that was correct. And our last one, 3,342. I know what went in. I have to add 100 to figure out what's going to come out. 3,344 plus 100 would be 4,442.
3,442 because we can't add to the thousands, just to the hundreds. Let's keep moving. So now if we are doing it with 100 again, I need to be careful when I read my rule. A rule always has first the operation you are doing, then whatever number it is changing by. Okay, it would never just say the rule equals 100 unless they were a certain type of box, but it's always going to have a really clear rule. So this time I'm going to be subtracting. Third graders, please pause the video now, and on your paper, please copy down this box and solve. Alright, third graders, this is what yours should look like. If it doesn't, please go back and watch the next one after I finish explaining it. As you see, we subtracted, so this number right here is greater than this number right here because we have subtracted 100. Same thing for the next one. And then the one after that, because the rule of subtraction, we have to do the opposite which was adding. We added 100 because we were going from right to left. And then I want you to take a look at the one below. And this one, both the hundreds and thousands changed, and that is because we needed to do some borrowing, okay? Make sure that you work carefully. Don't let them fool you. You guys are way too smart for that.
So today we are going to jump into 1,000 more and 1,000 less. We are now looking at the thousands place value in a 4 or 5 digit number. Okay, so for example, we have 31,456 here. We are going to underline the number in the thousands place. So that would be our 1. That is the number or the place value we're going to be working with. Then we're going to add more or subtract less from the thousands place when asked. So if we look at the example down here, it asks us to give 1,000 more. We had 31,456. The 1 was in the thousands place. We added 1,000 more to it to make 32,456. The example below that is less than. We want 1,000 less than what we started with, so we started with 31,456. We took 1,000 away, which gave us 30,456. Remember yesterday we talked about 2 different ways that you can go about figuring this out. You could use a place value drawing, or you could add and subtract, whichever method is quickest and easiest for you. So let's practice this one together. We have 27,900. What is 1,000 more and what is 1,000 less? So I liked to use the addition and subtraction method because I am successful with that method. So I'm going to start with what is 1,000 more? I know that more means I need to add. So I'm going to add 1,000 to 27,900. Starting in the ones place, 0 plus 0 is 0. Moving to the tens place, 0 plus 0 is 0. Moving to the hundreds place, 9 plus 0 leaves me with 9. Don't forget your comma. Now I'm in the thousands place. This is where I should see some change. 7 plus 1 would be 8,000, and 2 plus 0 is 2. So what is 1,000 more than 27,900? 28,900 is 1,000 more. Again, noticing that the number that changed was the number in the thousands place. Okay. When I see what is 1,000 less, less means I'm going to be taking something away, so I know that I will be subtracting. I'm going to erase my first work for the sake of time. You, of course, would do it on a separate work. Okay, so when I'm subtracting, I'm going to take 1,000 away, starting in the ones. 0 minus 0, 0. Moving to the tens, 0 minus 0, 0. When I get to the hundreds, I have 9. I need to take 0 away. I'm left with 9. Got my comma. When I get to the thousands place, I have 7. I need to take 1 away. That's going to leave me with 6. And I'm in the 10,000s place. There's nothing to take away, so I'm left with 2. What is 1,000 less than 27,900? 26,900. Again, the thousands place is the place value that changed.
A big mistake, remember, third graders, is thinking that you can change the thousands place and then make everything else zeros. But remember, Mrs. Luzwitz carried her 9 down because that place value wasn't changing. Let's try the next one. This problem says 9,125. What is 1,000 more? What is 1,000 less? Please try this one on your own. Resume when you are finished.
Okay, third graders, so when you look at your work, you should have ended up with 10,125 for what is 1,000 more, and for what is 1,000 less, you should have 8,125. We showed our work up at the top for the more than because our thousands place and our 10,000s place actually changed here. So when I did my addition, I started in the ones. 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 0 is 2, 1 plus 0 is 1. When I got to the thousands place, I had to make a new 1,000, which made a new 10,000. So 9 plus 1 is 10. I dropped the 0, carried the 1. That gave us 10,000.
I love that you showed your work, Mrs. Luzwitz, because you didn't forget to carry that 1 down. Some friends might have just gotten the answer 0,125, which sure wouldn't make sense if we're adding, so it's always important to check your work.
So when we get to 10,000 more and less, we are doing something very similar that we did with the hundreds and the thousands, but we are now looking at the 10,000s place when we are looking at a 4 or 5 digit number. So when we are looking at this, we're going to underline the number in the 10,000s place so you know which number you're working with. In the example, 31,456, the digit that is underlined is the 3 because that is in the 10,000s place. Then when we add 10,000 more, we are going to be adding. When we take 10,000 less, we're taking away. So 10,000 more than 31,456 would be 42,456.
Sorry, third graders, there's a mistake on the board. That would actually be 41,456. I'm not quite sure why that place value changed. Let's take a look at the next one as well, because that's a silly mistake that we made from not showing our work.
Yep.
If we look at the next one, 10,000 less would only change the 10,000s place. It would be 21,456. This is why we want you to make sure to rewrite the problem out as an addition problem. Please do not try to do it in your head. You need to write the problem out. We are not even going to do an example for this one because we think you guys can handle the challenge on your own. Please pause your video now and attempt this problem. Remember, 10,000, not 1,000. Go ahead. All right, third graders, the answer you should have gotten is 37,900 and 17,900. Remember, only that 10,000's place value changed this time. As you do your work, you might see mixed problems of hundreds, thousands, or 10,000s. I'm going to give you a heads up when we take our assessment for this unit. You will definitely see the mix, so please be critical thinkers. As you work today, try your very best. Your teachers believe in you. If you do not understand what we have talked about today, please pause the video, drag your button all the way back to the beginning, and try again. You can do this. Have a great day.